All right, so today we're diving deep into this story called Ethan and the Path to Understanding.
Okay.
And it's inspired by the book of Proverbs.
Interesting.
Yeah, and it's all about the choices we make,
Mm-hmm.
and how they shape our lives. So think of it kind of like a roadmap for navigating those tricky crossroads we all face.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah,
Yeah, allegories can be really powerful, because they use symbolism to explore these complex ideas. It's
right.
not just a story, it's like a reflection of our own journeys in a way.
It is.
Yeah.
So picture this. We have Ethan, our protagonist,
Okay.
setting off on this journey to the city of understanding.
Mm-hmm.
He's heard tales of wisdom and fulfillment waiting there,
Right.
and he's determined to find it. But right away, boom, he hits a crossroads.
Oh, so right off the bat,
Right away.
it's a decision.
Yep. And it's not just a literal crossroads, right?
I'm Lucy.
It's a representation of the decisions we make every single day.
Yeah.
And the story describes one path as wide and easy.
Okay.
The other is narrow and rugged.
Oh, interesting.
So which one would you choose?
Now, that's a tough one.
It is a tough one.
It is.
The easy path, super tempting.
Right.
But Ethan, he remembers some advice he got from this, old traveler he met along the way.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a quote from Proverbs. And it says, "Ponder the path of thy feet and let all thy ways be established. Turn not to the right hand, nor to the left. Remove thy foot from evil."
Mm.
So basically, think before you act and stay away from anything that looks shady.
I mean, that's such a key takeaway, right?
It is.
I mean, we're bombarded with choices all the time.
All the time.
Do we go for that, quick dopamine hit?
Exactly.
Or do we think about the long-term consequences?
Right.
Do we take the easy route, even if it means sacrificing our goal?
Exactly. So Ethan chooses the rugged path, the one that requires effort and discipline.
Okay.
Like choosing to hit the gym instead of binge watching, that new show everyone's talking about.
Yeah.
It's good for you, but it takes willpower
It does.
to get there.
And that's where the book of Proverbs, I feel like, really comes in.
Yeah.
All of these ancient sayings offer practical wisdom for navigating these exact situations.
It does.
They remind us that the path to true fulfillment often requires us to choose the harder, less glamorous option.
It does. But it's not all sweat and struggle, though.
Oh, good.
There's this element of resisting temptation, too.
Okay.
Like when Ethan encounters, this group of travelers lounging in a meadow, they're all about taking it easy, living in the moment,
Right.
and they try to convince Ethan to join them.
It's like that voice in our head, right?
It is.
That says, just relax,
Just chill.
enjoy the ride, why work so hard?
Yeah, why bother, right?
Yeah.
But then the story brings in this amazing analogy from Proverbs
Okay.
about the ant.
The ant. Okay.
It says, "Go to the ant, thou sluggard. Consider her ways and be wise, which, having no guide, overseer, or ruler, provideth her meat in the summer and gathereth her food in the harvest."
I love that. So while those travelers are all about chilling out.
Yeah. The ant is busy prepping for the future.
Yeah.
It's a reminder that even though we might not have someone cracking a whip,
Right.
we got to be self-motivated. We got to have that inner drive.
That inner drive.
Yeah, to keep moving forward.
Exactly. The ant knows that winter is coming,
Yeah.
and it's not going to be caught unprepared.
It's ready.
It's a metaphor for taking responsibility for our lives,
Yeah,
planning ahead, making sure we're ready for whatever challenges come our way.
absolutely. And it makes you think about those times when, you've procrastinated on a project or put off something important.
Right.
We all have those moments.
We do.
But Ethan's decision to keep moving
Yeah,
really highlights the importance of staying focused on our goals.
it does.
Even when we're faced with distractions, he's not willing to sacrifice his long-term vision for that fleeting moment of ease.
He knows what he wants.
He does, but let's be real. Sometimes those distractions are really appealing.
Yeah.
Like when Ethan stumbles upon this gorgeous house,
Okay.
it's glowing, there's music playing. It just seems like the perfect place to rest,
Right.
escape the hardships of his journey.
Oh, I see where this is going.
And that's where I feel like the allegory takes kind of a darker turn.
Oh.
It's reminding us that things aren't always what they seem.
Right.
This house, with all its allure,
Yeah.
represents the trap of superficiality.
Oh, wow.
It's that thing that looks amazing on the surface,
Right.
but might be hollow or even dangerous underneath.
Just like that saying, all that glitters is not gold.
Exactly.
I really can't judge a book by its cover.
You can't, and we got to be careful not to be swayed by appearances.
Right.
Proverbs warns about this, saying, with her much fair speech she caused him to yield. With the flattering of her lips she forced him. He goeth after her straightway, as an ox goeth to the slaughter.
Oh, wow.
A pretty stark image, right?
It is.
But it just underscores the importance of being discerning, questioning what we see and what we hear.
Yeah,
Ethan could have easily been lured in by the beauty of the house,
for sure.
but something tells him to be cautious.
Right.
He senses danger lurking beneath the surface.
At intuition.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how do we avoid falling into these traps,
Yeah.
How do we develop that sense of discernment?
Well, I think it's about cultivating critical thinking skills.
Okay.
It's about looking beyond the surface, asking questions, right?
Mm.
Like, what are the motivations behind this offer? What are the potential consequences of my actions?
So it's not about being cynical or distrusting everything.
Right.
It's about approaching situations with a healthy dose of skepticism.
Exactly. It's about being aware of the potential for deception, especially when something seems too good to be true.
Right.
And Ethan thankfully embodies this.
Yeah.
He chooses to trust his instincts and continues on his journey.
He's becoming quite the wise traveler.
He is.
He's faced a tough choice at the crossroads, resisted the temptation of idleness, and now he's overcoming the allure of superficial pleasure.
Mm-hmm.
It seems like he's finally ready to reach the city of understanding.
Oh, he's definitely getting closer.
Yeah.
But the journey's not over yet. There are still more challenges ahead and even more to learn.
Oh, no.
Yeah. So stay tuned as we continue to explore Ethan's path and what it reveals about our own quest for wisdom.
Oh, this is getting good.
It is.
It's interesting how Ethan keeps encountering all these, tests along his journey.
Yeah.
It's like each challenge kind of prepares him for the next one.
It's almost like a video game, right?
It is, like he levels up.
He levels up each time he overcomes an obstacle,
Yeah.
gains experience and wisdom along the way.
Yeah, and that's what's so relatable about this story.
Mm-hmm.
We all face those tests
Right.
in our own lives.
Yeah.
But it's not just about overcoming the obstacles, though.
Right.
It's about how we internalize those experiences.
Mm.
And that's what really struck me about Ethan finally reaching the city of understanding.
Yeah.
It's not just a passive arrival.
Right.
He actively engages with the wisdom he finds there.
You're picking up on something really important here.
Why?
Yeah. The story emphasizes that wisdom isn't something that's just handed to you.
Right.
You have to work for it. You have to seek it out.
You got to earn it.
You have to be willing to embrace it.
Right. It's like the difference between, reading a self-help book
Yeah.
and actually applying the principles in your life.
Right.
It's one thing to, intellectually understand a concept,
Yeah.
but it's a whole other thing to live it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And Ethan's journey, it really underscores that active participation in the pursuit of understanding.
Okay.
Think about it. He doesn't just stroll into the city of understanding and instantly become wise.
Right. It's not like a magic switch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He participates in a feast, which symbolically represents a conscious choice
Well,
to absorb and internalize the knowledge and experiences that are being offered to him.
that makes me think of those times when you've, attended a workshop or listened to a podcast and you feel so inspired.
Right.
And then life gets in the way and you totally forget about those insights.
Yeah, it fades.
It takes effort to integrate those lessons into your everyday life.
It does, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's about making that conscious choice to incorporate those new perspectives
Mhm.
and insights into your decision-making, your actions, and ultimately your identity.
So it's not just about arriving at the destination.
Nope.
It's about what you do once you get there.
Precisely. The journey doesn't end once you reach a certain level of understanding.
Right.
It's an ongoing process of learning, questioning, refining, and expanding your knowledge.
So it's like always more to learn.
Always more to learn.
Yeah. Always growing.
And the story doesn't end with Ethan becoming this, solitary sage hoarding all the wisdom for himself, right?
Not at all.
Okay.
In fact, the story highlights the importance of sharing what we've learned with others.
Ethan doesn't just keep his newfound wisdom to himself.
Yeah. He pays it forward.
He goes out and shares his story, inspires others to seek understanding as well.
Right.
It's like that saying, when you learn, teach. When you get, give.
I love that.
It's about recognizing that knowledge is meant to be shared,
Yeah.
that it has this ripple effect.
It does.
Right.
And think about how that relates to our own lives.
Mm-hmm.
Like when we share our experiences,
Yeah.
our insights,
Right.
even our struggles,
Yeah.
we create connections. We contribute to a collective growth in understanding.
Exactly. It's not about competition.
Right.
It's about collaboration.
It is.
And that's where the real power of understanding lies.
Okay.
It's in its ability to connect us,
Right.
to inspire us, and to move us forward collectively.
Together.
together.
Yeah, and I feel like there's this beautiful connection between, wisdom and happiness that the story hints at.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up.
Yeah.
The story doesn't explicitly say Ethan is happy in the city of understanding.
Right.
But the imagery of the feast and that overall sense of fulfillment he experiences really suggest a deep sense of contentment and joy.
It does, yeah. And it's like the idea that true happiness comes not from, external circumstances, but from living a life that's aligned with your values,
Right.
your purpose, and your pursuit of understanding.
Absolutely. It's about finding that meaning and purpose in the journey itself,
Right.
not just in reaching that specific destination.
But there's also this element of acknowledging that the journey never really ends.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Ethan's story, it doesn't end with him reaching the city of understanding.
Right.
It suggests that his journey continues, that there's always more to learn,
Ah,
more to experience, and more to share.
And it's a powerful reminder that learning isn't this, linear process.
Right.
It's not about reaching a certain point and then stopping.
Yeah, it's not a finish line.
It's about embracing the ongoing pursuit of knowledge, growth, and understanding throughout our lives.
Think of it like climbing a mountain.
Okay.
You reach one peak,
Yeah.
and you're met with this breathtaking view.
Right.
But then you see another peak in the distance, even higher,
Oh,
even more challenging.
more to climb.
Yeah.
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 And so the journey continues. It's not about achieving some kind of ultimate enlightenment,
Right.
but about constantly pushing yourself, challenging yourself, and expanding your horizons.
Ethan's story, it really does challenge us to reflect on our own choices,
It does.
our motivations, and the paths that we're choosing to walk in our own lives.
Right?
Are we choosing the paths that lead to genuine growth and fulfillment?
Right.
Or are we getting sidetracked by those, tempting shortcuts and distractions?
It's a question worth pondering, but let's shift gears a bit here.
Okay.
I feel like while we've been talking about, Ethan's individual journey, the story also hints at this bigger picture.
You're right. And that's what we're going to explore next.
Right.
How does Ethan's story connect to this wider understanding of the world, of society, and of the human condition?
I'm ready.
So stay tuned as we delve into these broader themes and uncover even more layers of meaning in Ethan's path to understanding. As we've been talking about Ethan's journey with all its twists and turns,
Yeah.
it's really striking how much it kind of mirrors the challenges we face in our own lives.
Yeah. I mean, it's like the story's holding up this mirror,
Right.
reflecting back on those moments when we've stood at our own crossroads faced with those tough decisions.
And it makes you wonder, what are some real-life houses of deception that we encounter today?
Yeah.
Things that seem so alluring and promising on the surface, but could totally lead us down the wrong path.
That's a good question.
Yeah.
I think about all the information overload we face constantly.
Right.
Social media, news, advertising, it's all vying for our attention, promising easy solutions and quick fixes.
Instant gratification.
Yeah.
Right.
It's so easy to get swept up in all the hype,
Oh, yeah.
to fall for those shiny promises.
Right.
Without really thinking critically about the source, the motivation, the potential consequences.
It's like that saying, if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is.
It probably is.
Ethan's story really reminds us to pause,
Take a breath.
question, and not just accept things at face value.
That's thinking for ourselves.
Absolutely, to cultivate that healthy skepticism,
Right.
that discerning eye that can help us navigate this complex world.
Totally.
And remember, Ethan, he didn't just blindly follow the crowd
Right.
or succumb to every tempting offer.
Right.
He used his judgment, his intuition, and his growing wisdom
Yeah.
to make choices that align with his ultimate goal.
And speaking of goals,
Yeah.
Ethan's story really emphasizes how important it is to have a clear vision for where you want to go in life without that sense of purpose.
Great.
It's so easy to just get lost along the way.
Think of it like this. If you're setting out on a journey,
Okay.
you need a destination in mind.
Right.
Otherwise, you're just wandering aimlessly.
You're just lost.
Right. And the same goes for life.
Yeah.
Having that clear vision, that sense of purpose, helps you stay focused, make choices that move you in the right direction.
So it's not just about avoiding distraction.
Right.
It's about actively pursuing something meaningful.
Exactly.
Something that gives your life direction and fulfillment.
And that's where I feel like The story's connection to the book of Proverbs becomes so powerful.
I agree.
These ancient sayings, they offer practical guidance for living a life of purpose, for making choices that lead to wisdom, happiness, and a sense of deep satisfaction.
It's a good recipe.
Yeah.
And, it's not just about personal gain either, right?
Right.
Ethan's story also highlights the importance of contributing to something larger than ourselves.
Exactly.
Sharing our knowledge and experiences to help others along their journeys.
That's such a key point.
It is.
It's about recognizing our interconnectedness, our shared humanity.
Right.
When we share our insights, our struggles, our triumphs,
Yeah.
we create a ripple effect
We do.
that can inspire and uplift others.
I love that.
Right.
Yeah, think about those times when you've heard someone's story and you feel a sense of connection,
Oh, yeah.
like a feeling of, I'm not alone in this.
Absolutely. That's the power of shared experience.
It is.
It's about creating that community of support, of encouragement, of understanding.
Yeah.
And it's a reminder that we all have something to offer,
Yeah.
something valuable to contribute to the world around us.
So as we wrap up this deep dive into Ethan and the Path to Understanding,
Yeah.
what's the biggest takeaway you hope listeners will walk away with?
I think it's the reminder that the journey of life, it's filled with choices and challenges.
It is.
And opportunities for growth.
Mhm.
It's not about finding all the answers or reaching some ultimate destination.
Wow.
It's about embracing the process, learning from our experiences, and striving to live that life of purpose and meaning.
And remember, you're not alone on this journey.
not.
We all face those crossroads and those temptations,
Yeah,
those moments of doubt.
absolutely.
But by drawing on, ancient wisdom, by seeking out guidance and support,
Yeah.
and by sharing our own experiences, we can navigate those challenges
Yeah.
and find our own paths to understanding.
Ethan's story, it's such a beautiful reminder.
It is.
The pursuit of wisdom is this lifelong adventure. It's
Yeah.
an invitation to engage with the world around us,
Mm,
to learn from our mistakes,
right.
to celebrate our successes,
Yeah,
and to share our journey with others.
absolutely.
So as you go about your day, ask yourself, what choices will I make? What paths will I choose?
Yeah,
And remember, the journey is just as important as the destination.
yeah.